What's happening? Welcome back to the YouTube. We are currently 6 weeks out today, and today we have got a big high day going down, and I'm going to show you how Meg's post-show diet is looking and what I eat on a high day as well. So we are going to try and use our new camera that we bought for vlogging, but at the moment I have to start the video using iPhone because we don't know how to set it up just yet, but I'm pretty sure Meg will figure it out, as she always does. But nevertheless, meal one is going to go down in a second. So I'm actually going to prepare my meal one and then Meg's meal one. She isn't going to eat just yet, but generally every single day I do make Meg's meal one and mine, because I am a great husband and I'm actually much better at cooking than Meg is. So I do like to prepare her food and actually make it super nice. So that is going to be the plan of action. Now we've got some melted chocolate here. So what I generally do is I will melt Meg's chocolate with some water, add weight to it, and then I will pour it over her actual yogurt and berries, and then I'll put fresh berries on top. And it's actually pretty bueno. She does have some rice cakes with it, and we'll get that in, and I'll show you their products. But anyway, this is my venison burger, which is just minced venison. Venison is actually super low in fat, so it's my preference for red meat meals. The macros are pretty much the same as chicken, but it is a red meat, and I do love red meat. So that is the reason why I can get away with having a burger. So massive shout out to the mother, because it's actually my mum that minces it for me and then puts it like vacuum packs so it can actually come out like a perfect burger. So my meal one today is going to be 200 grams of sourdough, my usual amount of venison, with 125 grams of cream of rice with fruit on top. And Meg's rest day meal one is 225 yogurt, 10 grams of whey, 20 grams of dark chocolate, and 200 grams of berries. So we are going to take you along on a day in the life and a full day of eating.
And 2 rice cakes.
On rest day for Meg and a high day for me.
Yep.
Right. So concoction number one, which is Meg's meal number one, and this is how it looks. So we've got Greek yogurt, we've got frozen raspberries mixed into Greek yogurt with a little bit of sweetener, we've got dark chocolate, whey mixed into a paste, and I actually microwave the dark chocolate first so it actually melts, and then we've got fresh raspberries on top, and she is going to put her own rice cakes on top. So I'm going to make this and I'm going to show you what this looks like. So Meg, do you want to do the honours and show the viewers your meal one? And then I am going to go over my meal one shortly, once it's all prepared and done. Right, so meal number one, we've got 125 grams of banana chocolate cream of rice, which is amazing. Banana, blueberries. We've got 200 grams of sourdough bread, which is one sourdough bread that Meg has found, which is incredible. Incredible macros, great quality, very low fat, which is what we need. Digests super well. 225 grams of venison, which is minced, and I make it into a little burger. And we've got 50 grams of veg as well. Now, Digest Farm Pro from trained by JP going down before this as well. I generally have this with the biggest meals, and it truly makes a massive difference to digestion. So when you get yours, get on it. Cuba 10, trained by JP. Now, today's refeed day. I have been dropping a lot. Condition wise, I'm probably leaner now than I was at like probably 2 weeks out last time or 3 weeks out. So we're going to have a high day today and a high day tomorrow. And we're going to train legs tomorrow, so we are going to vlog pretty much today and tomorrow for you all. You're going to get to see what I'm eating, you're going to get to see what Meg's eating, and you're going to get to see what we actually do on our rest days. And our rest day is not really a full rest day. We've got Jay here to do my massage. I actually have tissue work at the moment every single rest day. So Jay comes around and then Will comes around the other day. And every rest day, me and Meg do make a point of doing something together as well. So you're probably going to see that too. So right, I'm going to get stuck into this. I haven't really been that hungry just yet this year, but I know I'm not really hungry until I have high days. So I'm not really looking forward to this because I know off the back of this, it's going to kick things up a notch. So
Just prepares you for first show, love.
I know. Right, big man, what are we doing?
Sports massage.
Yeah?
Working on muscular separation today. 6 weeks out. It's more of a deep rub, really, making sure we get through all the lines. Separation's key, obviously, when you're on stage, so it's very easy to neglect that when you're getting sports massage. And sports massage therapists just hammer the muscle. But you know, at R&R we do a lot with bodybuilders, so we are able to know what needed in terms of separation and stuff. So that's what we're working on today. It's what we'll be working on for the next 6 weeks, 5 weeks. So 6 weeks.
Well, always really, because I keep on top of the massage work, I never really need to do anything drastic. So yeah, it's things are looking good for 6 weeks. So we're on track. Right, we'll finish the session off. We'll crack on the rest of the day, huh?
That's it, let's go.
Let's get it. Hello girls, what's going on here? We've got a day in the life for YouTube. So Meg is actually getting her massage work done through Lucy from R&R. Lucy works for Jay, who owns R&R, and she massages out of Rotherham.
Yep.
How's it going?
Fantastic.
She comes to Princess Meg
Yeah?
Once a week.
once a week at home because Lucy's been my client for, is it 4 years now?
4 years in July, yeah.
Yeah.
So I get special treatment.
Lovely. Right. Leave you to it, girls. I'm going to go in the sauna.
It's a good job you didn't come in 2 minutes ago.
Was you naked?
The tits out.
Oh, God. Terrible. We're going to have to put, like, under 18 sign on this now. Right, girls. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Right, so we've got my rice for the day, which I cook every morning fresh, and I actually cook exactly what I need every single day. So today's a high day, which means I've got a lot of rice to get through. And generally, when I want to make lower volume rice, I just simply add less water to it. And another tip that you guys should be using is using sushi rice. It's actually much less volume than jasmine or sticky rice. So if you do have a high day or you need to keep your food volume lower, I would always advise using sushi rice, which is always going to be much less volume for you all. So that is always my favourite. It's what I use when I'm carving up, and it's what I use when I have to have much more food. So for today, in terms of raw weight, we actually have 450 grams of rice raw weight, which is going to equate to around 1,500 grams cooked, which I could have made it a little bit less volume if I'm honest with you, but realistically it's still going to work out around 500 grams of rice per 150 grams of raw weight rice, which is not a lot of volume really. And the reason why I always weigh my rice raw is because I can make my rice voluminous depending if I'm hungry or not, or I can make my rice quite low volume if I do need to eat more of it by simply putting more or less water in. Now, if you're not tracking your water that you add into your rice, you can actually be eating more carbohydrates or less carbohydrates depending on how much water you add to it. So if you want to be accurate, always weigh your food raw. It's always a better option. So 450 grams of rice uncooked now equates to 1,488 grams cooked. So that will be my 3 portions, and all I will do is just pretty much divide that by 3. Now, generally, if you want to calculate how to cook your rice, raw to cooked, let's say you've got 500 grams of rice, you would put that in here. After it's cooked, you would weigh it. You would then divide it by 50, and that would then give you a weight of the rice per 10 grams. So generally, if I do 500 grams of rice and I make it quite low volume, if I divide it by 50, it comes out like 30 grams of rice per 10 grams, or 28 grams of rice per 10 grams. So 100 grams of raw weight rice would then be 280 grams cooked. But again, I add more water in, I could make that 350 or 400, depending on what I'm doing. So always pay attention to that, guys. So I'm gonna weigh this now, leave that in a little pot for the day. I'm gonna wash this out, and then I'll go upstairs and finish my check-ins off, and then get in the sauna. Fermented foods, so get some proper kimchi. It has to be fermented, and add it to your meals as part of your veg allowance. So I would just swap out the lettuce for the kimchi instead now, and that will generally improve your gut function. And I think the biggest issue at the moment, I think it's definitely lack of fibre as well, in my opinion. If you're just doing a little bit green beans and lettuce, it's not going to give you anything. So definitely something to consider. Now secondly, cream of rice. It can digest well sometimes, but sometimes it definitely cannot. I definitely do get flare-ups with it, where sometimes I just have to use less of it and I actually have to bulk it up with rice. Right, so now we've had the massage, I'm going to get back to work and get my client updates finished. I actually only had 2 check-ins left before Jay came, because I do like to get stuck into work nice and early, and so does Meg. We pride ourselves on really making sure our clients do get replied to majority of the time before they even wake up. And we take our job quite seriously. Bodybuilding is our passion, but at the same time, we do pride ourselves on delivering a service that we would want to receive. So we always aim to deliver, and deliver on time more importantly. So I'm going to get these finished off. I'm going to go downstairs, prepare my meal 2. Depending on what time I finish, I might squeeze in the sauna before. If not, I'm going to eat the meal 2, show you meal 2, prepare Meg's meal 2 if she wants me to, and then I'm going to go in the sauna after. Now sauna, I actually do every single rest day. The benefits for heart are incredible, and me being a bodybuilder, any little thing that I can do to improve my health, I will capitalise on, because it makes sense. So guys, see you on the other side.
So, just about to cook meal 1, which obviously Cooper made earlier. 2 rice cakes, 225 beige yogurt, 10 grams of JP ISO, 20 grams of dark chocolate, and a little bit of cinnamon. And then I've got my rice cakes as well. And that's pretty much meal 1 on a rest day. So lots of ice.
I almost burnt it getting your food ready. So here it is, meal 2 for me. Normally this would just be chicken. However, now we have got chicken, 150 rice, and 50 grams of pineapple, and my usual veg intake, which stays. Now, a little bit of smoked paprika on there, makes it taste delicious, and I will add salt on this shortly as well. So this will go down as meal number 2, and I want to present Meg's meal number 2 as well, which is absolutely divine. Meg's diet is actually really cool at the moment. She pretty much has all the meals that I know she really likes, and it all matches the macros. So she will not get fat eating this. She will, however,
Just leave it in there.
She will, however, have a lot of satiety. So Meg has got wild salmon here, avocado, sourdough bread, and when it comes to actually mealtime, I will make her like a sandwich out of this, but I'm going to air fry it first. I'm going to show you the process.
With the veggies.
With the veggies. What veggies would you like? Some peppers?
100 grams of veg, so I'll have a bit of greens, peppers and mushrooms.
Okay. So this is pretty much how this will pan out. She's going to get a veg smoked salmon sandwich.
Have we shown the salt for the day?
That's the salt for the day. My salt and Meg's salt, both weighed out.
We don't add very salted seasonings so that we can keep a management of our salt per day. We use things like this. You can see it. Dash are really great. They actually have quite a few different flavours. Lemon pepper is one of our favourites, and I really like this one because I like seeded bagels, but they actually tend to have a bit more fats in them. But if you add this to your actual bagels or bread, it's like having it.
Right, so that is meal number 2. I'm gonna eat this, then I'm actually gonna get in the sauna. What have you got? What are you gonna do?
I've got some work to do and I need to go hang out the washing.
Okay, right, food time. I'm gonna listen to the podcast, so see you on the other side, guys.
So, meal 2 for me. I eat a tiny little bit later than Cooper on a rest day because I am still quite hungry after my competition. So it just means that my meals later on can be kind of an hour and 45 to 2 hours apart rather than longer than that, just so that I can feel a little bit more satiated before I go to bed. I'm not going to not admit that I'm hungry when... No, sorry, I'd not say that I'm not hungry if I am hungry. And I think that that's an important part of the process, being nice and honest with yourself. So here, we've got 125 grams of smoked salmon, 100 grams of sourdough bread, and 100 grams of veggies, with a little bit of sauce as well. All the sauces that we do use are the non-calorie ones. Some people don't like to use them. I like to have a little bit, not too much. So it's obviously a little bit tasty. Obviously salt has been added from my pot allowance. Apart from that, there's not really much other stuff going on with this plate, so I'm going to eat it.
Right, here we go. There we have meal number 3, which is 150 kg of rice, 200 grams of fruit. We've got 60 grams of ISO, and then we are going to have a serving of my Digest Farm Pro as well. So that is how this setup is looking like right now, and you can have a bit of a close-up right now. There we go. Now this is going to go down super easy. I've made it quite low volume, so I can get this down and pretty much be ready to eat again in 2 hours. So whole point is making sure that you put a strategy in place with high days and do not volumize your food. You can only eat what you can digest, so you have to make a point of making food nice and digestible. Right, so a little bit more vlogging. As you can see, I have got a little bit of a crackhead face. It's actually sunken in quite badly this last week. Definitely getting leaner. Anyway, I have got my next meal and Meg's next 2 meals, as she's a meal behind, ready while she was in bath. So I'm going to show you how the setup is looking for her 2 meals and then my next meal, which is going to be meal number 4. I think we are going to go and watch Kung Fu Panda actually at the cinema, so I'm looking forward to that. Right, so 125 grams of 3% lean steak mince, 100 grams of veggies, 100 grams of rice, 50 grams of rice, and 50 grams of passata. Here we've got 100 grams of veggies, 150 grams of cod, and 50 grams of rice with pineapple. And then my meal is 150 rice, 75 veggies, 30 kimchi, 200 chicken, and 25 grams of avocado as well. So meals on the road. Now I generally prepare this, put it in a container, weigh all the food out, then I put it on a pan, stir it, add some seasonings to it, and then that's the end product. A little bit of a calorie-free GQ sauce on top, and it's a divine meal to devour for later on. Now, hello. What do you have?
225 grams of egg whites. You should have 50 grams of veggies, 1 whole egg, and 100 grams of sourdough.
It's a very nice looking meal. Who made that?
Grams of blueberries. Cooper's actually made all of my food today, which has been really nice. When you're in prep, when you're very close to show, you feel a little bit funny about anybody making your food.
I do, yeah.
I do.
I do.
Not let really you make my food for the last 10 weeks. Just because you want to know what's in there. But not that I don't trust you, but
I get it, I'm the same.
it just allows me to,
Yeah, stay in control. Yeah, I get it. Enjoy. I'm gonna get my boots on. Well, you're gonna help me get my boots on. Let's go. Right, so that's 30 minutes done in my recovery leggings. Nick Walker's been using them, so they definitely must work. On a serious note, they definitely do work. I've seen a massive difference from leg recovery, especially when Mega's away. I bought these because I had to do more steps. I had to fend for myself for 3 weeks. So it meant I was on my feet much more, and my legs were starting to take a hit. And since I've been using these, they definitely have seen better recovery. So 30 minutes for me, 30 minutes for Meg, every day using these to make sure we have some massive legs. So get that done, and then I'll show you the last meal of the refeed day.